What makes Fairway the most unique market in New York City? We provide the best selection, period. 60 varieties of olives, 70 custom roasted coffees, 80 selections of fresh fish, 90 types of preserved pickles, 135 olive oils, and over 250 international cheeses. How unique is that? Fairway, like no other market. Visit your local Fairway today. What makes Fairway the most unique market in New York City? We provide the best selection, period. 60 varieties of olives, 70 custom roasted coffees, 80 selections of fresh fish, 90 types of preserved pickles, 135 olive oils, and over 250 international cheeses. How unique is that? Fairway, like no other market. Visit your local Fairway today.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
It's show 204 after day 420. I'm Chris.
I'm Rob.
I'm Aaron.
Yeah.
You sounded like you were shocked.
What?
That intake of breath.
I thought you had a stroke.
Oh, sorry.
So, yeah, it was 420.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a good 420?
Yeah, I celebrated by working. It was awesome.
Yeah, I work too.
Yeah. It was a fucking Friday.
I was in bed by like 9.
420 is like every day for me.
Yeah, every day is 420 when you're a weedsman. I went to the dispensary where it was standing room only. By the time I left, it was nuts. They had pizza and cookies and shit.
Smart.
Wait a minute. Did you say you went to a dispensary?
Yes.
That was standing room only.
Oh, absolutely.
As opposed to, did they normally have seating and you hang out?
Yeah.
What?
Well, no, in the waiting room.
In the waiting room, yeah.
Yeah. But this dispensary is a fairly large waiting room. Like, there's probably 24 seats in this waiting room.
Do you usually have to hang out and like wait?
Depends on what time of day you go.
What, do they only let like one person at a time into the room?
Like when I usually go for the show, I usually go like early Saturday afternoon. Like
right.
I'm usually in and out that bitch in less than 10 minutes.
Right.
But you know, there's
Because
some days.
there.
Yeah, but when I go after work is a busy time for like between 5 and 6 is a busy time for dispensaries.
This is what I'm trying to get at though. Like if you just go to a store and if there's nobody there to cash you out, you just walk around the store and look at shit, right?
Yeah. No, dispensaries you have to be buzzed in to get in the back and all that stuff.
Right, so you have to go through, you have to show your ID to get through the entrance.
Yeah.
Then you go to a waiting room where they then buzz you into the back room so that they can control how many people are in the
Well, no, usually
back
the
room
waiting
at one
room
time,
is
right?
in the spot where you show your ID and the waiting room are one and the same.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But to get into the waiting room, you have to show your ID.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
You can't just come in and hang
Right,
out.
right.
To
And
be in the
then-
building, you have to have credentials.
So how many people are allowed in the room with the weed in it at one time? Are there laws on that, I wonder?
Well, I mean, this place had like probably 8 bud tenders yesterday.
Yeah. So each one handles one customer at a time, and then they buzz in the next person.
Yeah.
Smart.
Well, there's probably enough people to be at a counter and then enough people to be one person deep in a line. There's probably another 24 people in the dispensary.
Okay.
As opposed to the waiting room.
Wow.
Yeah, something that usually takes me under 10 minutes took me 45 to do yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So it's like picking up prescriptions.
In a sense.
Sometimes you're in and out, and sometimes you're in a line 10 deep, and you're there forever.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not like it was in Washington and Oregon. Because in Oregon, you still got to show, well, you got to show credentials to everybody, but Oregon still kind of has that kind of set up in most places. Washington, it's like Weed Mart. You just walk in. You got to show your ID to someone by the door usually, but it's like there's no waiting for everything's out in the open. They're not trying to be discreet about shit.
Sounds like a tobacco shop would be.
Yeah.
I'm sure Cali's like that too, you know?
Now, the places I went to in Cali, still that the show me your ID and get buzzed in set up.
Oh, they were...
Vegas still that way too.
Even for the recreational?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking that...
But you're getting buzzed into a room that's just like it's like Washington, where you just walk in and everyone's just buying a whole bunch of shit. You're getting buzzed into a room like that, but yeah, it's still that setup.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's more open.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
but yeah, Washington is just, it's nuts. Like, I'm expecting Weed Mart to show up there at some point.
I've heard that California recreational sales are hitting well below what was expected.
Well, yeah, because all the fucking taxes, the black market's cheaper. I told you my Oakland story. A $55 cartridge actually costs you $74.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've seen stories about individual communities tackling that. Mm-hmm. Because that's the thing about California seems to be that everybody has got the hands in the pocket.
Yeah.
Right? The federal government, the state, and the local are all three of them hitting you hard. And especially on something that they consider to be a sin tax.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Syntax.
Yeah, well, that's what they call, that's the cigarette tax. They talked about that a lot back in the day when cigarettes started to just skyrocket in price. You used to pay like 65 cents a pack. And that's why packs were like, well, shit, I'm trying to remember. I think it was between $4 or $5 when I first started smoking.
My dad telling me stories about he was outraged when it went up to $1.
Right. And even that was like a $2 tax on it. So, I wasn't smoking in the 80s, but I believe that you were paying about $2, $3 for a pack of
When
cigarettes.
I started smoking, it was $2.50 for a pack of smokes.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, there you go. And, it's not like the
That was
manufacturing
only like
of it has gone up that
1993,
much.
1994.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
didn't start
$2.50.
smoking till late. Yeah.
Well, there's two things I guess you have to weigh here. The increase in the tax, the sin tax on it, and also the decrease in the number of actual smokers out there. If you have a bigger audience for your product, you're able to charge less for it. The less people that you have smoking, the less cigarettes you actually produce, the more expensive it is to produce each cigarette.
Mm-hmm. But too, they're also building lawsuit money into the prices now too.
Right.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
Settling lawsuits pretty much for the last 30 years.
Yeah. So having 420 has happened since our last show, which was on 420.
Yes.
And of course, everyone's got to do a story about it. If this is even for your like Washington,
you know how much it's permeated the culture
and stuff. How much?
My fucking 71-year-old dad wished me happy 420 when I talked to him yesterday.
Nice.
What?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I saw ads for edibles from White Castle. They were like, edibles at White Castle. I'm like, okay, yeah, your food's edible. Yes.
Don't lie to me, White Castle. Don't fucking lie to me.
That barely defines edible.
Right.
No, I enjoy. I do. I kid White Castle.
I'm going to get to see the first White Castle.
The guy at the register. Hey, heard you talking shit about my company.
Right?
Why don't you get out of here?
Never get White Castle.
Your 5 burgers? Those are mine now.
But wait, so White Castle was actually advertising that they were selling what in California? That they were
No, it was actually on the Instagram app. It was popped up as a sponsor in between ads, and it said White Castle edibles, and then we had a green background, and the burgers were floating down. A sack of clam strips floated down, and yeah, available now at White Castle.
Oh,
they're just making a pun.
Right. So they're advertising to the stoner.
Yes.
Directly.
Like, hey, we know you're going to be hungry. Eat this. This is delicious when you're stoned. We made a movie, remember?
I think.
Yeah, I know, right?
I actually liked the first one. Every movie after that sucked.
Oh, no. No way. Guantanamo Bay is awesome.
I did not enjoy that.
Oh, that's great.
I never saw the Christmas one.
Come on,
That one was
NPH
okay.
is classic in that. Christmas one's not bad. It does have some stupid shit like the baby getting into the cocaine.
Yeah, and crawling on like a Exorcist baby on the ceiling.
Right.
That lost me.
It was like a train spotting, right?
Yeah, it did kind of remind
Baby
me of
on
that.
the ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, Chuck Schumer, he introduced a bill on 420 to decriminalize marijuana.
I saw that. Did it go through?
Hell no.
I'm just kidding. I know better.
But, it's an attempt.
Right. Thanks, Chuck.
Schumer's legislation, according to NPR, would remove marijuana from a list of scheduled substances under the 1970 law that classifies marijuana as dangerous as heroin.
Which is fucking line of bullshit, and we all know it.
Yeah.
Schumer told Vice News tonight, if smoking marijuana doesn't hurt anybody else, why should we allow people to do it? Why shouldn't? Yeah, why shouldn't we allow people to do it and not make it criminal?
Like where your head's at. Just get your daughter under control and we'll be okay.
What's up with who?
Amy Schumer? It's not his daughter?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's what I meant. I was like, just get your daughter under control, okay?
I think they actually are related.
Okay.
I believe they are.
Get your niece under control, okay?
Maybe. You might be right. Did you guys hear that? I'm not going to go down the whole rabbit hole, but if Trump wants to try and end the FBI's investigation into Russia, he would have to get rid of Mueller, however you want to pronounce it, right?
Mueller?
But he can't really do that directly. He has to shield himself by going through Rosenstein, which Rosenstein has already been vocal about, saying that he's not going to fire anyone in order to try and end this investigation, that he wants it to see it through to its natural course. So what Trump would have to do is fire Rosenstein, put somebody in his place that would then fire Mueller. Jeff Sessions said if Rosenstein is fired,
Then he'll quit.
then Jeff Sessions will quit. So,
And Trump already came out last week pretty much saying the opposite of what Sessions has been saying this whole time.
What?
With the remember what he said, that he...
on his support
he favors
for
not
marijuana.
fucking with the states that have already legalized it.
Yeah, he put his support behind the bill to keep the federal hands off of any legal
Which is-
for recreational
Which
marijuana.
had to piss off Jeff Sessions because he's been saying the complete opposite for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably got all mad. His face probably got all red.
I'll be red.
Yeah.
So not only does this mean that a lot of the rhetoric that we've heard from Jeff Sessions is just that, is rhetoric, because he's going to be ineffective if he can't convince the president to back his plan. On top of that, he may not even be in this position anymore.
Right.
I mean, who knows? Look, it's still Trump administration. It's possible you could find somebody worse to do that job.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Is there anyone left who'd want it?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm sure somebody would take it, regardless
Some
of
old white
job.
guy, yeah.
Chris Christie would get him in the
Oh,
administration.
God.
Oh, see,
That-
now
that could happen,
That
actually.
might be worse. That might be worse. I think you just named the man who not only could possibly take that position,
How about Arnold?
but actually be worse on it. Arnold would be an
They
improvement.
want
Yeah.
to decriminalize
We
it.
want to make everybody healthy and
They
high.
want to legalize it.
If we're talking about just purely from our perspective of legalizing weed, or at least keeping government hands off of it,
Yeah.
then yeah. I mean, in big picture, who the fuck knows?
Right.
You know what they have to find is a reason for why Russia wants legalized weed in the U.S. We have to convince Russians that weed will keep the Americans docile and easy to manipulate.
Well, they actually grow it there, too.
And then, I'm sure, yeah.
I've seen an
But,
actual pin that's for a master cannabis grower. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a medicinal program in Russia.
I think it's more industrial hemp. I think it's not for the smoking of or the use like rope, obvious clothing.
Figures.
Yeah. They're not using it for the fun part, I don't think. Sure, some people do there.
It's Rolling Stone had an article that mentions the Chuck Schumer legislation, and also
I saw their
features-
snarky. It was a classic. Their snarky headline
What'd they say?
with the Rolling Stone what was the article like?
I think might have been a different story. This one says, "Are we really getting closer
Yeah.
to overhauling marijuana laws?"
Yeah,
I don't get the snark in there.
I can see that Rolling Stone tone.
What do you mean? What's the Rolling Stone tone?
Are we really getting closer?
I get where you're going with it. Like everyone thinks that this is this is an inevitable thing that's happening, and they're like, don't get ahead of yourselves, liberals. This may not happen. They do feature a rather clever picture of what looks to be Trump blowing smoke into Putin's mouth.
Oh, look at that.
See, that's why. That's probably
Did you
why
see
I
that?
thought it was snarky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, look at that artwork. That's fancy.
It's not bad, but don't you think it should be the other way around?
I thought
Yeah.
you had
That
to,
Trump should, that Putin should be holding the joint and blowing the smoke into Trump's mouth?
See, I thought you had to have the joint in your mouth backwards and shoot the smoke.
You don't have to do it that way, but
okay.
that's kind of a different thing. I don't know what you call that. I've tried doing that once, and I was like, whatever. I can get the hang of this, but why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
it. First time, yeah. I was like,
I
that's
still
it.
smoke weed.
Right. Are we filming a movie here?
Yeah.
What's
Is this sexual? Are we doing something sexual
Yeah,
right
is this
now?
sex stuff?
Should we be going upstairs after this?
That's stoner first base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you see that guy blowing smoke into his girl's mouth? They're totally gonna fuck.
It's in the Rolling Stones.
Totally gonna do it now.
Yeah.
In the Rolling Stones story, they certainly do have a skeptic there. Representative Mike Kaufman from Colorado. He's a Republican that says, "I'm skeptical."
Oh,
That's how I knew he was a skeptic. As he said it.
I'm skeptical.
That's true.
After-
So how are we gonna know if he doesn't say it?
It says, after he became president, the policy has seemed to be handed off to the attorney general, who is not respectful. So I just have a wait and see attitude.
It's like, if it happens, it happens.
Right. Now, this was published after we saw the news on him supporting Cory Booker's bill on keeping federal hands off of it, which means that regardless of even if Jeff Sessions stays in office, he won't be able to do anything about weed.
Just
Right.
He'll be hogtied,
stomp his feet and hold his breath.
right?
Get real red.
What in
Purposely
tarnation?
burn the cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Oops. Oh, I guess. Oh, guess he's
Ruin
not getting
another
chocolate
batch.
chips.
Right.
You,
Yeah.
Donnie John.
Donnie John, you're out.
Oh, I'm all
That's-
out of EL fudge.
yeah, that's what I was
man,
going
I
to
want
say.
some now.
That's what Jeff Sessions has in his back pocket. Is that Trump loves those EL fudge?
You got to come through me to get those EL fudges.
Yeah. Who wants EL fudge in this house? Come through me.
Road to EL fudge right here.
The New York Times had a story about a runner, a champion runner, a 25-year-old Avery Collins, the man's name,
Okay.
which I'm sure you understood. No, I don't know.
No, this woman named Avery.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I know. I've never heard of a man named Avery.
I've heard of a hockey player.
Is there?
Oh, no, that's Sean Avery.
25-year-old Avery Collins from Colorado Springs, who takes marijuana before he runs, because it says he says that it puts him in a zone where he's not thinking actively about his time, how well he's doing.
That's what I do before I go walking.
Right, to get out of your own head. Right, it's like a lot of things. It's like playing music or acting, being 100% engaged with that sport that you're doing or that effort that you're putting out there. See, weed gets a bad rap as, a bunch of people smoking it and having no attention span, no memory, no motivation.
Huh?
And, right.
Give it a bad name.
And that can happen, but I think people aren't fully aware of how much of our population is just like that naturally, whether they were going to smoke weed or not.
Right.
They are fucking tuned out, right? So how can you even tell if it's the weed or not?
Very true.
Well, too, at this point, it could be weed. It could be opiates.
But yet, a lot of proponents for cannabis talk about how it can focus you. If you're driven to do something, if I'm not driven to work on a podcast and I smoke some weed, I'll probably play a video game. If I'm driven to work on that podcast, then I'm going to smoke some weed and I'm going to get it done anyway.
Right.
So that's what sativa's for.
And sometimes yeah, absolutely. Sometimes that focus is even better. According to the American Journal on Addictions, cannabis is second only to alcohol in preference for athletes. Now,
Just
I think
for
this is
use?
just use in general, right?
Okay.
Not like
Oh,
doing
Recovery.
Guy gets lit, goes to the gym.
right. Right, you'd dehydrate yourself and pass
Yeah,
out.
you'd be
right?
dead. Yeah.
No, man, it's cool. I take down a fifth of Jack and then I go to the gym.
I'm sure some people. I mean, there are functional alcoholics.
They've told me to bring my own mop.
Yeah.
I'm a Lyft driver. There's a fair proportion of my customers that are functional alcoholics. I take people to work at factory jobs and that just reek.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Damn.
yeah.
My short experience in the factory job, guy took home a couple times. There's vodka in his water bottle, man.
Makes sense.
That's right. Do our jobs the old-fashioned way, like our daddies did. Drunk.
Yeah. Makes sense why cars are recalled a lot of times.
Right?
You gotta be to do that kind of work, though, man.
That repetitive manual labor.
You gotta be something.
It's brain numbing.
Just hitting the keyboard.
Yeah, but Rob, we work in jobs that are repetitive in their habitual things of same time every day. You're going, working the same hours, you sit in the same computer, have the same stupid people try and talk to you.
Right.
You know what? I love it because I didn't have that kind of job until 5 years ago. I fucking love it. It's great.
It'll wear off.
We also get to work on new things. Every week there's new work coming in.
Sometimes, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure, I get repetitive jobs too, where some of it's just every dimension on this drawing is broken. So just go through them one by one, right click, and then click on this command and do that 584 more times.
Yeah.
So there can be repetitive parts to it, but it's rare that I'm going to be doing that for a week straight.
Right.
Or that's my only job for a whole year or more.
Right. It's not the same over and over every day.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about. What am I talking about?
I don't know.
Engadget says that cannabis is having its smartphone moment.
Go ahead and grab a seat and join us.
Smartphone moment.
I don't know what that means.
You see, what we're actually trying to do here,
Now that's pomposity.
we're trying to get a feel for how...
Oh, look who's having their smartphone moment.
So, if you would you walk us through a typical day for you?
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I generally come in at least 15 minutes late. I use the side door. That way Lumberg can't see me. And after that, I just sort of space out for about an hour.
Space out?
Yeah. I just stare at my desk. But it looks like I'm working. I do that for probably another hour after lunch, too. I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work.
That's
Peter, would you...
that joke is actually based on a statistic too. It goes beyond office work, as they looked at corporate jobs and how much work they actually get done, and it's 15 minutes on average a day. I mean,
That's crazy.
sometimes that is the job, just to be there to go, yeah, you should definitely do that, and it's due next week. There you go. You just made your paycheck.
Follow the motivation, all right? Now, if I work my ass off and Initech ships a few extra units, I don't see another dime. So where's the motivation?
And here's something else, Bob. I have 8 different bosses right now.
I beg your pardon?
8 bosses.
8?
Yeah.
8, Bob. So that means that when I make a mistake, I have 8 different people coming by to tell me about it. That's my only real motivation, is not to be hassled. That and the fear of losing my job. But you know, Bob, that'll only make someone work just hard enough not to get fired.
Would you
Boom.
bear with me for just a second?
No, yeah, there's been times where I've just been paid to read Google News all day.
Yeah. No, that's why this movie continues to stand up.
Yeah.
People like it for the wacky stuff. I'm going to burn this place down and smashing up a copier or whatever the fuck. And
PC load letter. The fuck does that mean?
right, there's some great bits in there, but it's also right. It paints a rather accurate portrayal of office work life.
I think I may have actually probably just stared at my desk before. Now I think about it, or just stared at my cubicle.
Damn.
There's been times, I feel like I remain fairly productive, and it's hard to judge how productive the rest of my office is. But I would guess in the upper percentile of people actually working.
Yes, me
versus,
too, because I am fairly convinced that there are guys that just collect salary to just go around and bullshit all day.
Sounds like a nice job.
Nah, my job, I'm a field-based job. When I'm in the office, that's not my job.
Right.
If I'm in the office, I'm tying up loose ends from a previous trip and planning a next
You're
trip.
like a caged lion, just pacing back and forth.
Yeah.
Got to get back out in the wild.
Yeah.
Where I belong.
Yeah.
No, Engadget. The Engadget article mostly focuses around PAX and their nifty new PAX era. I think we talked about these ones, right? The ones that
I have a PAX 3 and I want to sell it.
Why do you hate it?
I'm learning as more and more as we do this show. I'm just old school, man.
How much you want for it?
Ritual has a lot to do with it.
$150. It's like half price.
Might have to buy it from you. 'Cause
All right.
I want it.
No,
That's
it's
pretty
just
hefty.
Yeah, they're worth it. I actually enjoy them.
The PAX 3, you can
me,
do just
there's-
about anything in it, right?
You can
Can't
put-
you,
you can
isn't
put
it adaptable,
concentrate-
or is it just flour only?
Yeah, no, flour
Both.
and concentrate. No,
Right,
to me,
yeah.
there's too much prep in my weed smoking for that thing.
Yeah.
See, I'm that guy that
Well-
does the prep.
Here's the difference, I think. The prep isn't tied to your experience. The prep of breaking up some cannabis and rolling it into a joint is not necessarily that much more work than maintaining something like a PAX. But that's already in your experience that it's, you're already getting an endorphin rush from just rolling a joint, knowing how pleasurable that smoke is going to be. You're not getting an endorphin rush from cleaning out a PAX.
No, not
Right?
whatsoever.
You don't have that one-to-one relationship with it.
Yeah, you always got to have
You know?
crunch. You always got to have ground up weed. It only takes a couple of drops at a time.
I usually do.
Of the dabs. Like,
Yeah, it's supposed to be a healthier way, Chris. That's what you don't like about it.
Well, there is that too. The way that a joint hits you in the lungs, it's different than vape.
Burning versus,
Right.
heat elements.
So if you don't get that, fiery hit off of it, you don't feel like you're getting as high as you would off a joint.
Right.
I don't know. I feel confident in saying that if you stuck with it, that if for some reason circumstances made it so that you had to smoke a PAX, like that was the only way you're going to get high. Your doctor said, if you smoke another joint, you're going to have a heart attack and die. I recommend only smoking vape, which I can't imagine a doctor saying, but if he said that,
That'd be a cool doctor.
I think you'd adapt fairly quickly.
Like, how do you know this?
We're adaptable creatures, as much as we love our habits. But I feel you. I feel like I'm going to be at the point where I'm going to have to force myself to transition to just vape,
I enjoy it.
just for health reasons.
I find it less throaty.
no, like I'd enjoy vaping. I like vaping the oil, and the cartridges. I love the fucking cartridges. I pretty much only
Through the
smoke
packs, you're
I pretty
saying?
much only smoke flour at home. But no, the
Right.
packs. There's just too much hassle with it. Like that's why I like just buying a cartridge. I can screw it on top of a battery and I'm done. Boom.
You need the PAX era. That's the one where you just get they're cartridges that just snap in place.
Well, then now you only can use their proprietary shit that's hard to find. I'm sure they're out there, but
That's very true.
I haven't seen their cartridges openly displayed anywhere. I haven't walked into a dispensary like we have packs.
I've seen it, but yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully soon. If you make a product like that.
Because I've read about, they got their pods, they call them, or whatever. No, trust me, I'm a huge fan of vaping. And I guess to me, too, the chambers is my problem.
What?
There's
Cleaning 'em?
36 of them.
No, they're too shallow.
Oh.
You only get a few hits out of them.
Oh yeah, you're constantly maintaining it.
Yeah.
Because that shit, if you put like a whole gram in there, then you're probably going to get, well, I don't know. You don't really get resin buildup from from vaping. So
you
what
do
would,
actually do.
Oh, you do get so
yeah,
there
you got
go.
to clean it. Yeah.
Yeah, you have
So
to
if
use
the
a cotton
resin's
swab.
building up, then it's going to build up a lot quicker, and it's going to be a harder thing to clean out anyway if you were to smoke more.
See, I think with the packs, I think it goes to the person that's a prepper, like a person that actually wants to do the ritualistic type of stuff. I think that's who I am personally as a weed smoker. I'm more into the process and like getting it to that point, and knowing that if I do it properly, I'm going to get to
I'm
the
old school.
point
I just want to get high.
See, that's where this is the way to go.
I just want to get baked.
Did you see Bill Maher's episode on 420?
I did not. Was he high? Did he smoke?
He
Did they film in
he
California?
did not, but he did do a whole his what is it called at the end?
New rules?
His new rules, yes. He wrapped up with a rant about how similar pot smokers and gun toters were.
Really?
About how they like their paraphernalia and, are into the whole lifestyle around it.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't understand people who have thousands of dollars worth of guns, but I am the proud owner of this device. And he showed like this super bong, this like high-tech bong that he describes in detail that he paid $3,000 for.
Nice. I would.
Oh, do they have it?
Oh, I was just playing the theme song because we're talking about Bill Maher.
Oh, okay. I bet you could actually find that. I mean, he's going to do it better than I can.
Get this, and I'll look for it.
And finally, new rule, Democrats must get a good wedge issue to make sure they win the next election.
Oh, yeah, this is it.
One in mind. Hint, today is 420.
This is more proof that the Democrats are tied to Hitler.
Everywhere smoke weed to celebrate smoking weed every other day of their lives.
I know, right? It's pretty much the point Rob made at the top of the podcast.
It's Friday.
John Boehner, yes, that John Boehner. The weepy chain-smoking Chamber of
points for
Commerce
picking a
golf course
picture of Boehner where he looks like he's smoking a joint.
Yeah,
Why
right.
didn't they Photoshop one in his fingers?
I could do that.
Speaker of the House, and who used to say
I know.
he was unalterably opposed to decriminalizing.
Put some sunglasses on him. The deal with it sunglasses.
Yeah.
Involved. And he accepted a position on the board of directors of Acreage Holdings, one of the largest legal pot growers in the country.
Fuck yeah, they got the money to do it. Why
Wow,
not?
you think Boehner cried a lot before? Wait till he gets stoned and sees a sunset. Hey, Democrats, you're going to lose this issue if you're not careful, because now Republicans smell the money.
Oh, there's an echo in here from like last 4 years.
Yeah.
A lot of talk now about how the midterm elections are going to be a blue wave. Blue wave sounds like an off-brand aftershave at the dollar store.
Yeah. Or not to electric
Wave
shave.
from the makers of Hillary Clinton's Inevitable. No, this election is hardly in the bag, especially considering that when it comes to showing up for the midterms, Democrats are electorally challenged. What we need is a sweetener to rouse the liberal base, and I think pot would do the trick. Now, I could go on and
You think
on
that would work?
about the benefits of weed.
Yeah.
Increased focus, less anxiety,
Get young
better
people out.
sleep. It
Yeah.
makes food taste better, music sound better, bad dates more tolerable,
Yes.
good for migraines, glaucoma, and the nausea associated with reading Trump's tweets. And eating pot increases levels of the chemicals responsible for happiness. Oh, you're doing a heck of a job, Brownie.
No, that's a throwback.
Yes, we love weed the way Republicans love their guns. Every election Republicans
There we go.
run on, they're coming for your guns.
I knew he was
We
getting
need
there
to talk
eventually.
about weed that way and turn potheads into single-issue voters soon.
Yeah.
It's a good strategy
Yeah, it
because
is.
we're all stupid now.
Because nobody's really coming for your guns. But Jeff Sessions really does want to take away your pot. For
Hell
which
no.
there is no protection like the Second Amendment. You know, we can bring those jobs back from China, but they're still going to suck. An Amazon warehouse for 8 hours with no one to talk to but the robots, you're going to want that vape pen.
Yep.
I'd rather them be high than drunk around fucking forklifts and shit.
Right. All they want about making college
mixing up my Amazon orders.
This person will get this today.
This should be an especially potent issue for those younger voters, the ones we are so desperate to get to the polls in November. And those kids say they're coming out for gun control. Maybe. But being against guns is not a lifestyle. Guns is a lifestyle. Weed is a lifestyle.
He's making valid points.
It's something you have an opinion on. It's in your home. It's a passion. You like touching it.
Maybe you do a podcast about it every week for 4 years.
They have magazines about it, and so do we.
Yep.
They have gun shops. We have dispensaries. They know the difference between automatic and semi-automatic. We know the difference between indica and sativa. They rally around musicians that support their cause, even if they're terrible.
Yep.
We.
Fish or ICP.
It's Ted Nugent versus Fish.
Yeah. They have fancy ways to hide their stash. So do we.
Yeah. Quaker Oats box.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big stash.
They like
it's false bottom.
Zillion versions of the same product. So do we.
Yeah.
Bongs versus guns.
Come on, there are gas mask bongs, lava lamp bongs, penis bongs.
Yeah, I've seen
and the
those.
menorah bong for those who celebrate Hanukkah. Look, I tend to think guys who need a .50 caliber rifle so they can shoot through Iron Man are crazy. But then I remember I once paid $3,000 for a device called the mothership.
Jesus, look at that thing.
Yeah, that thing's beautiful.
It heated hash oil to exactly 462 degrees and had a spherical donut chamber with detachable bubbler and dual ceramic coil. And a 72-hole percolator.
Wow.
Dual overhead turbochargers.
Did it make getting high any better than using an apple? No.
Maybe a little.
Yeah, maybe.
A little.
I would say a
I
little.
dropped $3,000 on it because I was high when I ordered it. Happy 420, everybody.
That's awesome.
Then you had the money and it sounds like it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had TV money to throw around, fuck yeah, I'd have a $3,000 bong.
HBO money? Yeah.
I'd have two of them in case I broke the one.
Yeah. I have a backup $3,000 bong.
And a man in charge of cleaning it. Rob, would you do that job? If I told you could move to California and be bong cleaner to the stars.
Depends on the amount of money.
Bong cleaner.
I would imagine you could make a healthy living.
Yeah, you'd have to give me that bottom line first. As long as it's more than what I'm making now.
The Washington Post ran more than a few stories about pot on 420. Actually, I believe they ran one that reminded me that I have to call it cannabis because marijuana is racist.
Oh, of course. Everything's racist now.
But also how marijuana legalization is ruining the official stoner holiday.
Really?
How?
Yeah, how?
Everything's ruined.
How so?
Is that cool anymore? Now everyone's doing it. No. No, they were talking about the High Times, what is their event on 420 called? Cannabis Cup.
Yeah.
They do there's so many cannabis cups that
hash bashes and
the hash bash though is like one particular location and event, right?
Well, no, they have other places that call it hash bashes as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Ann Arbor doesn't have the only hash bash?
Yeah, they're not special.
Wow. I had no idea. Even though it seems obvious now.
Right. That's why I always laugh when people say, oh, that's the one and only, right?
High Times is going to do a cannabis cup in California on 420. This is the first year that they've done it in California where they have legal weed. You would think that is this what it's like at these cannabis cups?
Don't Give up your day job, bro.
Is he supposed to be dressed like John Lennon?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. It's not what I was thinking it was.
David Peel at John Lennon's memorial.
Who's David Peel?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like...
There it is.
Look at this guy.
No, this,
Whoa, does he have... Is it...
Have a marijuana. Great cigarettes.
What?
What? What picture? Oh, she did.
Whoa. Video, VHS style video effect.
Yes. Okay, we're trying to sing, but it's hard to sing what you sing about.
Why?
what?
What's going on?
Yeah, this is the weirdest YouTube video I've ever seen in my life.
That's saying a lot.
This
this
is
is-
totally unset
Whoever
up
the hell
properly.
David Peel is appears to be a British hippie.
Are we all three smoking? Woodstock 22!
Unclear as to whether his guitar is not tuned well or if it's just the warble of the VHS that it seems to be adapted from.
I don't think this is a well set up event.
Marijuana, marijuana.
There's just fat dude in bandana and purse smoking a joint on the side of the stage.
Yep. Hey, what up, bro? Look at that fucking guy. I'm gonna dress like him for Halloween. That's a new costume right there.
I mean, we could do it all. Can I be David Peel?
Yep, you can be dressed like that, Aaron.
Where
and show Chris. Chris will. Yep,
I'll be
there's
the
Chris
guy
right
with
there.
the tambourine.
Yep.
that's a kind of a unique twofer item that he's got there because it's a knitted vest.
Yeah, that
Right?
is.
So he gets to, wear, he
I
gets
thought
to
the
be
sleeves were
vest
knitted.
guy, but also a guy who wears
Also
like
knitted vest guy.
right,
Yeah.
right, like what are like a poncho or not a poncho? What are those Mexican hoodies called that are knitted? Serape.
Dope serape.
A dope, dope
dope serape.
Dope serape.
This is supposed to be just. It's supposed to just be background music for what you were reading. This is turned more entertaining.
This is way too distracting to try and read over.
That's the way it sounds to me. Like,
What was I reading about? Oh yeah, so the event, the Cannabis Cup. Long story short, I guess they had problems getting an actual permit to have people smoke on the premise.
right.
Because in the past, these events have always been semi-legal, right? They get a permit to hold an event, and everyone knows what goes down in a Cannabis Cup. and
Right.
It's like the hash bash. A lot of people describe it as a day to like openly smoke weed.
Right,
It's
which
just
is
a day
legal.
that they've decided, hey, as long as we keep people within these parameters, can you not fuck with us? And the police go, fine.
Right.
Nothing's written down officially in the books. The laws aren't changed for that one day. It's just the cops look the other way because they have this kind of agreement.
Yeah.
Now that
I need you to send me
now
this
that these
video.
events are happening in places where it is now legal, which means that the government actually has oversight over who purchases and how they consume and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I thought this was going to be like some kind of parody, but he seems rather serious about what he's doing, doesn't he?
Yeah, this is a full band right here. Serious band.
Well, it's a. Yeah, I guess it is a three-piece.
It is a
Wait,
three-man
new Halloween
band.
costume. I'm the guy playing the bongo.
Sitting down.
And
Yes.
Okay, and I get to play with you?
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, yeah, man, that's the way to go, yeah. And I put my arms. Yep, that's all I get to do.
Why is that guy doing
Oh,
that?
hit the beard.
I was going to say, this is a four-piece if you count the
There's
fat.
Mandy's part. She's walking.
Got the fat guy that's just hanging out smoking a joint, occasionally hitting the bongo and
pumping
doing
my
what
arms,
he
dude.
calls
arm-
dancing.
It's arm pumping. I used to do it a lot. Hi.
Dude, these guys aren't helping.
This is great. This is classic entertainment right here. You can't find shit like this on TV nowadays.
Okay, so Well, in this story in the Post says that barely.
I can't. I looked up and I started laughing. I'm sorry.
Barely a day before the event was supposed to begin, High Times event director found herself in perhaps the least mellow place on earth, a city council meeting, as she tried desperately to bring the festival into compliance with a confusing suite of new regulations that accompanied pot's legalization. And also,
he's pumping his arms again.
and she failed to do so.
Is he like, you know how like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones had a guy who just danced?
Yeah.
Is he like their...
It's their hype man.
He's their version of this?
It's kind of like Flavor Flav. I bet he's the guy that's holding.
Yeah, I was like, no, that guy's their dealer.
Yeah. It's also worth pointing out that I don't think anyone's actually watching them other than the guy filming this.
Oh. Hey.
Oh, break it down again.
Marijuana. Wow. I could have wrote some lyrics for these guys.
But that's brave to have not only a guy whose job is to play tambourine, but a whole nother guy to just dance.
I know, right?
Usually those can be fulfilled by the same person.
Oh, they're job creators.
Those duties.
You know?
Yeah, I was waiting for a job like
no,
that.
they're both special at this in their own way.
Oh, speeding up tempo.
What's the big finish?
Get high!
Was that this guy's thing?
Oh my god.
I don't know anymore.
Like this song, he was going to be the pro marijuana hippie.
I know it was a great song.
Corner that market.
Yeah. I was enjoying it.
Let's see, the representative from High Times that was arguing her case for this event. So that there have been events going on this year under the new law that have never filed for this permit and that you let happen, that were not shut down. We're the first ones here asking you to do this properly. We've done this for so long. We're asking you to let us do it. 6-0 denied.
Oh, you know why? Because she talks shit.
Damn it.
No, I don't think. I mean, I don't know if there was any changing their minds. Mm-hmm. This was we have laws against open consumption, and that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
That's
here.
true. Welcome to the big boy world. You can't drink you can't do it in public, just like alcohol.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird that you would think events like the Cannabis Cup would thrive in places where it's legal.
Right.
But then you start thinking about actual government oversight and how fucked up with any system that the government gets involved in ends up being ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you end up with a lot of red tape and sometimes outright denial.
You guys singing about?
Oh man,
yeah.
John Peel.
The New Yorker had a story about how seniors joined the cannabis craze that I honestly didn't read because I know how they joined. They just never stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fucking started it because those are the hippies, dummy.
News alert, old people like to smoke weed. Yeah.
Yeah,
no
they've been
shit.
doing it for a lot longer than us. Yeah.
Where do you think we learned? We learned it from watching them, all right?
Yeah. Cigar box, remember?
Learned it from watching you, Dad.
Yeah. I love that commercial. The dad's just...
Newsflash, if you were 21 in 1967, you're fucking 71 now.
And I love when the dad pauses in that commercial because you can tell the dad's stoned in that commercial. He's like, oh, yeah, wait, yeah, okay. But still, you shouldn't do it. That would have been my answer.
You all right?
Learn from watching me. Well, okay.
Oh, shit.
You're doing it wrong.
Let me see your joint rolling quality, son.
Well, you're doing it wrong. If you're going to do it in my name, then you better start picking up the practice a lot better.
The History Channel had a 420 story about the complicated history
about Hitler
of cannabis in the U.S.
On 420.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have anything about Hitler.
I think they finally jumped off the Hitler bandwagon.
Like a lot of people, old people, the older folks are
I
starting.
think it was the late 90s. They hit their Hitler's the zenith at the History Channel.
I sent you the link for it, but they sent. The History Channel posted a video that they refer to as Flashback, The Dangers of Marijuana Addiction. I don't think Flashback is in the title. I think Flashback is the name of the series. Yeah, History Flashback takes a look back at found footage. And the found footage that they have is a film entitled The Dangers of Marijuana Addiction from 1951.
Let me try.
Drug
addiction.
Yeah.
Youth is a happy time and a carefree.
You just turned Arthur Penn.
Yes.
I think maybe Riff Tracks or MST3K watched this before.
But sometimes in these troubled days, the very thoughtless
Oh, shit.
Oh.
led to a living
That kid just, what did he steal? Some
He stole
cigars?
something.
Looked like
Oh,
cigars.
whoa, oh, racist!
tragic
What?
carelessness may take control
Black woman begging for money?
Yeah, what's racist?
dreamed of before. To these addicts, life's only work is to find money.
Oh, this guy just clubbed someone. He took something from him.
He mugged
yeah?
him for his violin. He's going to sell
The
it.
goal in life is to keep the deadening
Pawn this
voice
violin to
forever
get some
in our
crack.
blood.
No, he wants weed.
It started with marijuana cigarettes.
Oh,
It's my turn next. Gee, Duke, where'd you get him? I know a guy.
Well, the guy.
we all know a guy. That's how it works.
I feel awful.
He's no woman.
Why do they smoke it like cupped
I feel kind of
like that?
I don't know. I'm going to
Yeah,
try that
that's
next.
it. Go throw up.
I'm gonna try
because that happens.
Marty got kind of sick too, but he wouldn't
No.
have gone.
Why is
No,
he
he
No,
didn't.
that's called high.
Actually, if he felt
Killed it.
ill beforehand, he's probably less likely to.
Right.
After smoking reefers, Marty's befogged brain hit on a clever way.
They got a 24-pack of bottles of Coke.
Now they're getting wild. Breaking that shit. Oh, my God. What the hell?
It drinks
What?
the broken glass.
Oh, it drinks broken glass. Oh!
Look, we got glasses now. Look. We're fucking insane.
They're drinking from the broken glasses they smashed open.
Yeah,
I
this
thought
guy,
it
he's
was
like,
so
fuck
funny.
all this shit.
But
I'll
they're
take
bleeding from the mouth and laughing.
And shoplifting to get the money he so desperately needed.
What the hell?
What did he just take?
Stole some nutmeg?
I think it was
Oh,
2
right.
boxes of
Oh, now he's
baking
in
soda.
court.
I think it was baking soda.
Mrs. Demelon, do you have anything to say?
In front of a judge with no robe.
He's a good
Yeah.
Demelon,
The judge is wearing
Hey,
a
what's
suit.
up?
I know, right?
Let's get this shit over with.
And I'm supposed to play the lawyer.
Judges dressed up in the 50s.
Just get up here. The judge didn't show.
Right.
I'm going to sentence you to 1
What do you want, kid?
jail. However,
If you pay me, I'll let you go.
you will be committed to a hospital for the
Have you ever given a hand job to a man in his mid-50s?
Yeah.
Because you're
They're
going
gonna-
to.
They're going to send him to a hospital instead of jail.
Yes, sir. All right. So ordered.
He's fucked
Well, because
in
he's
the head.
white. If he's black,
Yeah.
he'd be being cuffed.
Some of
It's
the
the 50s.
responsibility for preventing the growth of drug addiction. Only by avoiding these drugs completely can he be sure that he will remain forever safe from a vicious habit which enslaves not only one's body, but the soul as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My soul definitely feels enslaved.
Definitely.
Oh, I learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
Wow. Don't smoke pot because you'll drink broken glass and steal baking soda and end up in jail. Or college.
That old trope.
I'm unclear as to the ending of that.
Independent shelters in the U.S.
Hey, Rob.
Yo.
What drugs are you on?
This week we are smoking old dirty old bastards.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, they switched it up on you.
Well, copyright.
Oh.
But
Hey, the dispensary I bought it from did not call it dirty old bastard. They called it
ODB?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. But what is dirty old bastard, you ask? Well, it is also known as dirty, old dirty bastard, or Dirt McGirt. It's an indica dominant cross that pays homage to the Wu-Tang Clan's own ODB, a cross between a California classic OG Kush and the ever-sweet Blackberry. Old dirty bastard melds complementary flavors and effects, creating a strain that is pleasant on the palate and the body. The strain's aroma is saccharine with notes of... What's saccharine?
Sweet.
Okay. Notes of berry and lemon and pine. It's a stress and depression helper, physical effects that deepen within time, and if you do overconsumption or leading benefits with consumers will help treat cramps and pain even if you smoke enough of this. So,
Nice.
yeah, it's definitely top 5 effects are happy, relaxed, aroused, creative, and euphoric.
Aroused, you say?
Yeah, you gotta get you a bong with 36 chambers.
That's why I need to hit this. But medical, depression, pain, stress, fatigue, and muscle spasms. So
Hey, you get aroused, you like it raw when you smoke this weed.
and you won't get cramps while you're having sex, if that ever happened to you. When you're so sweaty and...
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just hitting that joint while
In
you're...
the jaw.
Yeah. Had one in my calf once.
From the home of the Dodgers Brooklyn squad. Wu-Tang Killer, hubbies on the swarm. Rain on your colors, ass disco dorm.
Russell.
You even touch my skill. You gotta go to one killer bee and you ain't overkill now. Drop that down, pass all around.
Not bad. It definitely has that sweet. I like that. I can actually taste that. Tiger style.
Isn't the story about, there was a story from International High Life that has a list of 10 countries with strict weed laws.
Yeah.
But mostly I'm infatuated with the photos that they have.
What the fuck?
They list Japan, the Philippines. I think you passed by. Look at the first one. Is it the United Arab Emirates? Look at the guy on the left. Look at his eyes.
Yeah. You can independently move his one eye.
Ooh.
Or the other one's glass.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. What
Damn, we should never visit Dubai.
What goes down in Dubai?
You don't even have to have it on you. It could be in your urine or through hair tests. You can be in big trouble.
They can just randomly test you and prosecute you based on a bad test, even if you're not.
Possession is just having it in you.
Damn.
In Dubai.
We're screwed.
Yeah.
I ain't going
Never
there.
go there.
What do they do with Japan with marshmallows?
Hold on. Let's get some.
Are those marshmallows that guy has strapped to his head?
It. That's what I thought they were.
I thought they were tea bags, but then I wouldn't know why I would be trying to lick one of them.
Yeah. I think it's the marshmallows. So I'd want to lick a marshmallow over a tea
This is a
bag.
poor choice for a podcast. These are very visual gifts.
Yeah.
They don't.
They're distraction aids.
It's hard to describe. See, there's two Arabs. One of them's on his cell phone. The other one is looking straight forward until his left eye, just the left eye, turns and looks at the cell phone of the man next to him. And you can tell because they both start laughing at the whatever he's looking at on his phone.
Hey, you
Those
get
are
5 years. You get 5 years for a joint in Japan.
5 years.
For a joint. Get the fuck out of here.
5 years of them strapping a coat hanger to your head, dangling marshmallows in front of your face, and
damn, I couldn't do it.
Is that the punishment, or is that why they had that photo?
Getting caught with a joint can get you put in rehab in the Philippines. While additional offenses or an angry first officer can have you put in jail for around a decade. 10 years for jail for smoking a joint.
They should have just said Asia. All of Asia, don't go there and try and smoke weed.
If you're looking to get some lashings of 10 strikes, you may be in luck if you toke up in Malaysia. Possession of less than an ounce of cannabis can land you about 5 years in jail and can cost you over $6,000.
In Indonesia, up to 10 to 15 years.
Jesus. I don't understand. These gifts are horrible, though. Good.
Yeah, they are. I admit it. I like shit gifts.
I feel like somebody's mom picked these out.
I know. There's Trump with sunglasses.
This is funny one.
And a hat with a
Was your
weed
mom
logo
Asian?
on it.
No,
somebody MS painted over a gif of Trump doing finger guns.
Yeah, they
or
shouldn't
something.
have done that.
What is he doing?
He's trying to pretend to be a gangster.
He's not pumping his hands like our boy from earlier.
Well, he's not trying to be a hippie. He's trying to be a gangster. I'd be pumping my arms to this song, though.
Wow, it looks like the list of states to not get caught with weed is Arizona, Florida, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Texas.
Big shock there.
No. What do all of these have in common? Let's think.
Guns.
We're back to Bill Maher. Damn. Yeah. You made it. Thanks for listening. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, hey, thanks. If you're new, hey, tell a friend. That might be how you found out. Maybe it isn't.
If you're old, tell a friend.
Yeah. Maybe you found us on Twitter at The Weedsman 420. Maybe you found us on Instagram.
The Weedsman Podcast.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You can share opinions. You can email the show.
Like and share. Review.
Yes. Email the show, The Weedsman Podcast, ChristopherMedia.net. Yeah. Rate us, review us.
Tell people.
Yes. You want? We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or just go to ChristopherMedia.net. We can check out all the other podcasts, like Unregimented. Yeah, that's a ticket.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just invoked John Lovitz there for a
that's
second.
A ticket. Yeah. See?
Yeah.
We're gonna do this.
But thanks for listening and stay high.
Stay high.
Stay high.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook by searching for Christopher Media. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
What makes Fairway the most unique market in New York City? We provide the best selection, period. 60 varieties of olives, 70 custom roasted coffees, 80 selections of fresh fish, 90 types of preserved pickles, 135 olive oils, and over 250 international cheeses. How unique is that? Fairway, like no other market. Visit your local Fairway today.
It's 50 years of the ShopRite Can sale. 5 decades of unbeatable deals and this unforgettable song.
Now, ShopRite does the can, selling lots of brands of everything in cans.
Today, treat the sex and cash, so the ShopRite Can. You'll save so much on every brand.
Now's the time to shop at ShopRite's Can Dash.
Now's the time to stock up and save. Now's the time to stock up and celebrate. Celebrating the 50th anniversary of the ShopRite Can sale. Stock up and save at ShopRite.